Hey all, Heretic here. Patch 28.2 drops tomorrow, probably about 1 p.m. Eastern time, because that's the usual time. Got all the information here for us. We're going to dive into the entire thing. So there is a whole lot here. So get ready, tuck in. This one's going to take a minute. Just in case you're unaware, what that means is anomalies will be gone, the new spells will come into the lobbies, and your MMR will be reset to 0. So it's time to start grinding. The new mechanic is going to be called Tavern Spells. The way that's going to work is in every shop, there is going to be your usual number of minions and a spell. Now, if you freeze that shop, the same spell will be there next turn when the shop refreshes. And there are different tiers of spells, just like minions. And if you are not of a tier of a spell, you cannot get it. In other words, if you're tier 2, you can't get a tier 4 spell. So I'm sure there might be some shenanigans, there might be some way to do stuff like that, but in the base normal situation, when you refresh that shop, it's only going to have things you should have access to. So let's jump into all the spells. First, we have Tavern Coin. Tier 1, 1 gold. You got it, a coin. Good for if you have an extra gold and you're floating it. This is in the shop. Why float it? Why waste that gold? Why not just bank it? So definitely easy value there. Next, we have Pointy Arrow, tier 1, 1 gold. Give a minion +4 attack. Easy, it's a buff. Fortify is a tier 1, 1 gold. Give a minion +3 health and taunt. Well, if you're digging for a taunt, you can't find that minion. Now you've got the spell, does the same thing. You're good to go. Tier 1, 1 gold. Tavern Dish Banana. Give a minion +2/+2. This is the same as the big banana spell you've seen a million times in various games. No difference there. Them Apples. Tier 1, 1 gold. Give minions in the tavern +1/+3. Now this isn't going forward for the entire game. This is only the minions in the tavern you're looking at right now. And I'm going to assume that if you freeze them, they will maintain that +1/+3 buff, and you'll be at least set for those minions. Tier 1, 2 gold. Recruit a trainee. Get a random tier 1 minion. Once again, 2 gold for a minion. That's usually 3 gold. Fantastic. Random, not so great. Since it's 2 gold, that's well worth it. Enchanted Lasso, tier 1, 1 gold. Steal a random minion from the tower. Tier 2, 1 gold. Careful investment. Gain 2 gold next turn. So 1 gold to get 2 turn next turn. This one is a big value. I will be using this one quite a bit, I'm sure. Tier 2, 1 gold. Overconfidence. If you win your next combat, gain 3 gold. If you tie, gain 1 gold. Basically, you're betting that you can win. And for 1 gold, that's not a bad investment. Lantern Light, tier 2, 2 gold. Give a minion stats equal to your tier. Well, I don't encourage you to use this at tier 2, but the later in the game that gets, the more value you're going to get. You know, if it's tier 5 and you spent 2 gold on this, it's a 5/5 buff. Not so bad. It really depends when you're going to get it. I would not want this really in the early game. Next, we have tier 2, 2 gold Chef's Choice. Choose a minion, get a different minion of the same type. Well, you're just desperately seeking a minion of a certain tribe and you don't care if it's one in particular, target that one. It's going to give you a different one of the same type. So example, if it's a Banana Slamma you don't necessarily need another Banana Slamma as much as you need something to trigger with it, say a Death Rattle that summons things like a Sly Raptor. Target the Banana Slamma and there's a chance you'll get the minion you're looking for. Leaf Through the Pages, tier 2, 2 gold. Your next 3 refreshes cost 0. Easy, good value. Strike Oil, tier 2, 3 gold. Increase your maximum gold by 1. And the earlier you get this, the better. The downside is that you are taking more damage because instead of buying a minion, you're getting this. Depends how strong you are. I definitely can see picking this up early though, being a big advantage. Tier 2, 3 gold. Hasty Excavation. Gain 1 gold. This costs health to buy instead of gold. So you want to gain 1 gold for 3 health? If you desperately need a minion, you've got the health, why not? Definitely not a bad investment. Tier 3, 1 gold. Reckless Investment. Gain 3 gold. Next turn, lose 2 gold. Well, if you know you can tier the next turn, or you can tier this turn and you don't necessarily need the next turn's gold as much, it's a good investment. 1 gold for 3, that's a big difference and well worth it. Tier 3, 1 gold. Tricky Trousers. Give a minion +1/+2 and taunt. If it already has taunt, remove it. Now, I really like this one. I like the versatility of it. You get to buff a minion. You get to give it taunt if you need the taunt. And if you have a minion that you want to lose the taunt on, you throw this on it, strip the taunt away. Good value. Fleeting Vigor. Tier 3, 1 gold. Give a minion +5/+5 till next turn. Well, In the mid game, this is a good size stat buff. 5/5's nothing to sneeze at all. And it's only till next turn, but it's only 1 gold, so I definitely like the value in this card. Tier 3, 2 gold shiny ring, give your minions +1/+1. I mean, I'm not excited, but if you've got a 7 minion board and it's a 1/1 buff for 2 gold and you're floating the gold or there's nothing good at the shop, not a bad investment, not crazy. Just a little tempo across the entire board is good. Tier 3, 2 gold, Echoing Roar, give a friendly minion at the end of your turn, gain +2/+2. So every single turn for the rest of the game, the minion's going to keep going up +2/+2. Not a bad stat increase. Obviously, the earlier you get this, the better. Definitely good on a Divine Shield or a Cleave, but really good card in the right scenario. Natural Blessing, Tier 3, 3 gold, choose a minion, give all minions that share a type with it +3/+2. Now this one is huge. If you've already got a single tribe thing going on and you could buff them all 3/2, that is huge. Even if you're only buffing 2 or 3 minions, that's not bad for 3 gold getting that many stats. And if you've got an entire board of it, that's silly. Staff of Enrichment, Tier 3, 3 gold, minions in the tavern have +2/+2 this game. So this is a permanent buff to everything in the tavern for the rest of the game. And if you could get to some stacks of this spell, I mean, this can get very effective. Not bad, no matter what you're playing. I like this. Ritual of Growth, Tier 4, 2 gold. Replace all cards in the tavern with ones of a higher tavern. I mean, not crazy. It's random. You never know what you're going to get. But if you're seeking some kind of direction and you have nothing, it's a good way to get it. Tier 4, 3 gold, Brand's Blessing. Your battle cries trigger twice until next turn. You don't have the brand yet. You have that primal fin. Do you want to pop all your Murlocs like crazy? Play Brand's Blessing. Well worth it. Tier 4, 3 gold, Titus's Tribute. Your death rattles trigger twice until next turn. It's basically you have a Titus on the board, but you don't have to have them on the board. It's just the effect. Not bad, but only 1 turn too. Primal Staff, Tier 4, 3 gold. Your end of turn effects trigger twice this turn. This is a Drakari enchanter that's not on your board. 1 shot, but still can be useful. Definitely not the best of all of them. In the right situation, though, it can be quite powerful. Tier 4, 3 gold, Misplaced T-Set. Give a friendly minion of each type +3/+3. Playing a menagerie board, got 3 gold. Slam this spell out there, buff your entire board 3/3. Not bad depending on the setup and how many cards of each type you have, but that can work. Hired Headhunter, Tier 4, 3 gold, discover a Battlecry minion. Well, it's a minion for 3 gold, and you get to discover it. So nothing to sneeze at all. The higher tier you are, obviously the better cards you have access to. Good card. Contracted Corpse, Tier 4, 3 gold, discover a Death Rattle minion. Once again, it's a 3 gold discover card that's going to give you a particular type of card you're looking for. In this case, Death Rattle. Another good card. Tier 4, 3 gold, Defender's Rights. Give a friendly minion +8/+8 and taunt. Well, for 3 gold, 8/8's nothing to sneeze at, and the taunt effect is always desired. You're always digging for taunts, it feels like. Another good one. Tier 4, 4 gold, Planar Telescope, discover a minion of your most common type. Well, I mean, if you're running one tribe in particular, or at least you have the majority, or you're trying to dig for something, this is certainly going to give you value. Pop this out there. The 4 gold's a little expensive, I feel, but we'll see after we play a few games. Tier 5, 2 gold. Armor Stash, set your armor to 5. I think this one is going to be very powerful. For only 2 gold, if you've fallen below 15 health, say you're sitting at 11, you pop this, you now cannot be lethaled unless you're a top 4 situation already. I feel like they're going to see a lot of abuse on this one, but we'll wait and see how it plays out, but it's really good and strong. Dreamer's Embrace, Tier 5, 3 gold, trigger a friendly minion's battle cry. Not a bad one. Got a fun battle cry, you got a brand, throw it out there, get extra value. Tier 5, 3 gold, Unmasked Identity, discover a new hero power. Did you just use your one-shot hero power that you never can use again? Are you a Reno? Have a new one. Are you playing Yogg? And hey, guess what? It's super late in the game and that +1/+1 and that random minion isn't doing anything for you. Pop this, get a new hero power. Feels good. Tier 5, 3 gold, Buddy Up. Discover a buddy. Well, the later in the game you go, the better the buddies are. And for 3 gold, getting a buddy is really powerful. I think this one is going to be very useful. Yeah, there are a lot of buddies, but some of them are really good and well worth the shot for 3 gold. Tier 5, 3 gold, Upper Hand. Start of combat, set a random enemy minion's health to 1. Come on, I don't have to tell you that's good. No matter what kind of board they have, making one of their minions 1 health is great. Yeah, if you hit their buff minion, their throwaway minion, it doesn't feel good, but you have an equal chance to also take out the health on their most important minion also. Tier 5, 4 gold, Jaws of Fate. Spin the Wheel of Yogg-Saron. I honestly feel like this is a little expensive for the wheel because there are enough bad things on it where you're not guaranteeing yourself something good, but I'm probably going to buy this all the time anyways because I just love spinning the Wheel of Yogg. And let's say I get some really bad consistent luck, always going to want to buy this because I love this spell. Tier 5, 5 gold, Golden Touch, make a random minion in the tavern gold. Well, it's better than buying 3 minions. If there's 3 of the same minion in the shop, yeah, it's a gold, but it's 9 gold. Now you can get it for 5. It's a random minion, but it's still cheaper than buying 3 of something else you don't want. In the right scenario, when you have no direction, this can be super valuable. Perfect Vision, tier 6, 2 gold, set a minion stats to 2020. Now, mind you, it's not plus 2020, it's 2020. So make sure you don't accidentally cast this on something that's not really going to get value. If you have a 1919, not really worth the 2 gold. If you have a 1-1, yeah, hell yeah, no doubt about it. So definitely just pay attention who you're casting it on, but this is a great spell. Tier 6, 2 gold, Saloon's Finest, refresh the tavern with spells. Well, spells are already strong. For 2 gold, why not have an entire shop full of spells, especially if you have a hero or minions that can utilize these to a better effect. Huge value. Tier 6, 2 gold, Lost Staff of Hamul. Choose a minion, refresh the tavern with minions of its type. I mean, you're playing one tribe in particular, you're trying to find more of them. Play this, at least you've narrowed it down to 1 tribe and you're more likely to get what you look. Tier 6, 4 gold, Azerite Empowerment. Give your minions +4/+4. I don't think I love this one because it's a tier 6. It's 4 gold and it's so late in the game. I feel like this isn't going to be enough. It doesn't say minions everywhere or wherever they are. It just says your minions. So I'm not sure how I feel about this one, but let's play some games and see. Tier 6, 5 gold, Sacred Gift. Give a minion Divine Shield. Well, come on. Divine Shield is always good. To give a minion that shouldn't have Divine Shield is super powerful. Well worth the 5 gold. Next up, we have the new heroes. Let's dive into them and take a look at them. We're going to start with Snake Eyes. Hero power costs 1 gold. Roll a 6-sided die. Gain that much gold. Cannot be used again for that many turns. Now, we're going to have to get some experimentation playing with this hero to see how it works. But you roll it and it just gives you a gold. Well, it's paid for itself and you get to use it next turn. And if it gives you a 6, yeah, you're not using it for a while, but it gives you a big chance to tier early or buy extra minions depending where you are in your turn. I like this one a lot. I want to get some games in to see if it's actually going to work in principle, but it sounds really good. tae'thelan Bloodwatcher. Hero power is Reliquary Research. This is passive. Every 3rd tavern spell you buy costs 0. That's pretty awesome. If you can buy a couple cheap spells and then buy an expensive one for 0, or hell, just any spell, they're not that expensive for the most part. This is really good value and it tells you how far you have to go, so you know when that free one's lined up. I think this one's going to have some decent potential. Dr. Holiday. Hero power cost 1, Blessing of the 9 Frogs. Get a random tavern spell. Well, tavern spells are fantastic, and 1 gold for a spell is phenomenal. I mean, this hero I see tiering pretty aggressively and trying to get some value out of this, because this could be a really big deal, this one. I don't know. I want to play it, but I feel like this one might be too strong right off the bat at 1 gold. And for the first 2 weeks, all 3 of these heroes will be offered in every single lobby. So be prepared. There's going to be a lot of these, so we'll know which ones are broken really fast. New minion time. There's a lot of them, so bear with me here. We have the Beleaguered Battler. This is a tier 1, 4/5. At the start of your turn, lose 1 attack. So it's going to progressively get smaller on the attack front, but that 4/5 on turn 1 is pretty impressive. I'm going to enjoy this minion for a little while. Eric's Wrath of the Sun. This tier 3 is a 3/1 Divine Shield Avenge 4. Give a random friendly minion Divine Shield. I'm not sure how I feel about this one. I mean, this feels like it's designed to run in like an Undead style board, or if you're playing Nyxia, so you can get maximum Divine Shieldage out of it, but then typically you want things to die, so I'm not sure how the shields are gonna feel. It'll depend where you are in the game. I feel like the later in the game, the better it gets for Undead. If you have a sea of tokens and they're all got like 60 attack, throwing random shields on them is very powerful. This could be a better late game card than an early game card. You have to play some games and find out. We have the Tier 5 Rodeo Performer. This 3/4 has a battle cry, discover a tavern spell. We already know spells are good. It's a battle cry, so you can slam it down with a brand, get double the spells. This one is going to be a good one too. Next, we have the Tier 5 Mad Matador. This 0/8, when this would take damage, deal it to a random enemy minion instead once per combat. This is super valuable. If you know someone's running a massive minion, you can just buy this bare bones. You don't have to buff it. You don't have to have it on your board. Just throw it out there all of a sudden, and you are just reflecting their damage all over the place. I'm not sure how I feel about this card. I feel like it might cause some issues. I feel like we're probably going to be bumping a lot more because a minion like this that can just be bought and thrown down is going to really destroy some boards. So you're definitely going to want to bump just on the off chance someone has this thing. You do not want to lead with your 300/300. The Tier 5 Enscrolled Fungus 2/4 has +1/+2 for each tavern spell you've cast this game, wherever this is. This one is going to be huge if you're playing a hero that has a lot of spells that you can just generate, or you get them cheaper, or maybe you found a lot of minions that kick out spells. This thing can get really big and is going to just keep scaling. So unless there's a lot of venom in your lobby, this thing could be a monster. Nala the Redeemer Tier 6 5/7. Whenever you cast a tavern spell, give a friendly minion of each type +2/+1. Well, if you're running a menagerie board, this one's an easy setup. Just run a few different tribes, cast a bunch of spells. Next thing you know, everything is bigger. This one has potential. Want to play some games to see, but it looks promising. Worgen Vigilante Tier 6 10/20 Wind Fury. This minion always attacks an enemy minion that it can kill if possible. This one will be very interesting. I've also seen it already posted on Twitter from the people in charge that it's not smart enough to notice Barricade. It'll think it can kill Barricade, even though it can't because the Barricade will adjust. But they said already it's not smart enough to see the difference. So be prepared for the Barricades. Landlubber, this Tier 2 3/4 Elemental Pirate. The tavern offers an extra tavern spell after each refresh. Hey, do you get tavern spells cheaper, or you just want to play as many as you can? Landlubber's the card for you. Sandstone Drake, this Tier 5 0/9 Elemental Dragon. At the end of your turn, gain 1 attack. Repeat for each card you play this turn. If you're doing a lot of cycling, this could be a lot of fun. You get into like a dragon situation where you're throwing a lot of battle cries for your Caligos. This could be a great time. Tier 4 4/4 Elemental Living Azurite. Whenever you cast a tavern spell, elementals in the tavern have +1/+1 this game. It's Nomi. Not Nomi, but essentially it's Nomi. This is going to be an interesting card. I want to see how it plays out. Set Tier 4 will have access to it earlier than Nomi, so it could be fun. Next up, the Tier 4 3/6 Demon Bizarre Dealer. 1 tavern spell each turn costs health instead of gold to buy. Well, if you're already running a Soul Rewinder, why not? Just take your free spell every turn. Not a bad card. We'll have to see how it plays out, but it looks promising. Slysssa the Vindictive. This Tier 6 5/8 Naga. Spellcraft, discover a tavern spell. I mean, Nagas love spells. Now you get a spellcraft that gives you spells. There's a lot of synergy here. This is a really good card. The Mystic Sporebat, the Tier 3 4/1 Beast. Death Rattle, get a random tavern spell. Once again, more tavern spell generation. It's Tier 3. Yeah, it's going to die fast, but you want it to die fast because the effect you're getting is very good. Next up, we have the Harmless Bonehead, a Tier 1 0/2 Undead. Death Rattle, summon 2 1/1 skeletons. It's a Tier 1 that summons lots of minions and that will synergize with other undead stuff later. Next, we have the Grave Gobbler. This Tier 2 3/4 Undead. At the start of your turn, destroy the undead to the left of this to gain +4/+4. I mean, that's really damn good value. The Grave Gobbler is going to do some nasty stuff and be a monster. I think this thing's going to get nerfed pretty fast. I mean, it goes to a 7/8 just immediately on turn 3. We'll have to see how it plays out, but it's nasty. Next, we have Mummifier. This Tier 3 3/2 Undead is Death Rattle, give a random friendly undead reborn. Is always a good thing. Reborn, we want an undead board, so this one will see some play. Tier 4 3/1 Undead, Steadfast Spirit, Reborn, Death Rattle, give your minions +1/+1. Buffing your board once, good. Buffing your board twice, better. This will see some play. It's Tier 4, so I don't think it'll stick around long, but definitely the earlier you get it, the better. Tier 4 4/3 Disguised Grave Robber. Battlecry, destroy a friendly undead to gain 3 gold. You want to lose a card? You want to make some money? There you go. If it's a card you want to get rid of anyways, now instead of selling it for 1 gold, you get 3 gold for it. So, and it's a Battlecry, so there's definite value here. This is a good card. Moro's Steward of Death. This tier 5, 6/2 undead. Reborn Death Rattle, give your undead +6 health. I mean, before the combat's over, this should give at least +12 health to your board. That's pretty damn good. You have a way to trigger Death Rattles early or put this out front just to make sure it dies. There's a lot of nastiness with this card. Tier 6, 7/4 undead. Archlich Kel'Thuzad. At the end of your turn, destroy the undead to the left of this and resummon it. Well, with all the Death Rattles, Reborns, things that give you spells, it's just nasty things you can do. Archlich Kel'Thuzad looks very good. I want to play some games to get some actual feelings on it, but it looks really good. Tier 3, 3/3 Mangled Bandit. At the start of your turn, discard a spell to get 3 blood gems. If you've got spells to burn, why not? And it's 3 blood gems. That's really good blood gem generation. We'll have to see how it plays out, but it looks promising. Next up, we have the tier 4, 5/5 Snarling Conductor. At the start of your turn, discard a spell to gain 3 gold. So instead of blood gems, this one is going to give you gold. Once again, 3 gold generation, good also. Either one works. The tier 4, 5/3 Paint Smudger Quilboar. Whenever you cast a tavern spell, play a blood gem on another friendly Quilboar. I mean, this is 3 blood gems, right? You're going to be casting spells. You're going to be throwing them around. It's tier 4. I don't know how much use we're going to get it. Does it feel like a card that would stay on the board too much? But if you can cast a lot of tavern spells, if you can get it going, it would be giving decent buffs if your blood gems were buffed up. Geomag Rugug. This tier 5, 3/6 Quilboar. Whenever a blood gem is played on this, play a blood gem on a different friendly minion. Well, there's a lot of potential with this. Obviously, if you want this, you're going to be using a lot of blood gem stuff. Playing extra blood gems is a damn good thing. There's going to be a lot of value with this card. Next, we have the tier 1, 0/4 Emerald Proto Whelp. This dragon is at the end of your turn, gain 1 attack. Got decent health, it slowly gets bigger. You're not going to keep it on your board long, but still not bad. The tier 2, 2/2 dragon Bronze Sand Spewer is a 2/2 divine shield. If you have 7 minions at the end of your turn, gain +2/+1. I don't know how I feel about this card. I really don't like the fact that you have to have 7 minions. I feel like that's way too many, because by the time you have a full board, you're really not going to want this on your board. But we'll see. There'll be times where it certainly does work. It just feels like most of the time that's a bad level. The tier 4, 4/3 Outback Smolderer. At the end of your turn, get a 2/1 Smolder Wing with Battlecry, give a dragon +5 attack. You're going to sit there, you're going to generate extra cards. It's an end of turn, so it works with Drakari. You could triple these if you want to hang on to the 2/1 Smolder Wings. There's going to be some shenanigans with this card, definitely. The tier 5, 2/2 dragon Ignition Specialist. At the end of your turn, get 2 random tavern spells. Once again, end of turn effect, so Drakari Enchanter works with it. You're getting spells which look really powerful in some cases, especially the higher the tier you get. This card is going to see a lot of play. Next, we have the tier 4, 1/5 Murloc Wayward Grimscale. Whenever this is attacked, gain Venomous. I mean, come on. Whenever it's attacked, you want to give this taunt, you want to give this divine shield, sit at the end of your board and just let it murder things. This is going to see a lot of play, and it's a very good card. The Lighter Fire, a tier 4, 5/1 mech. Death Rattle, deal 5 damage to the lowest health enemy minion twice. This one's going to have some real shenanigans, folks. You could basically blow up the weekend of their board pretty fast with this. Now, if it's an undead board, that's not super useful, but in a lot of cases, that's taking out key minions. This could be interesting depending on who your opponents are, and what kind of Death Rattle shenanigans you can get up to. The tier 4, 0/9 mech Trembling Trolley, avenge 3, get a random tavern spell. I mean, it definitely has enough health to survive in the early game. If you get this super fast and you have a bunch of tokens, you can generate a lot of spells that would then allow you to tier a little more aggressively. This has some potential. We'll have to see how it works, but it looks very interesting. Tier 5, 4/5 Pirate Spellbound Seafarer. After you buy 3 cards, get a random tavern spell. Not bad. I mean, obviously, if you're playing pirates and you can get any kind of APM going, this will work. I feel like that will get in the way, though, generating spells. I really like this in a menagerie style board where you've got a brand and you're cycling battle cries. This will just randomly give you spells. And since you usually don't go infinite with that kind of setup, you definitely can have more time to cast these spells, which depending on their effects could eat up a lot of time. So this one looks like a fun card though. I like it. Next, we have some pre-existing heroes that are going to get changed pretty dramatically in some cases. So let's take a look at these. Vol'jin is 0 gold. Choose 2 minions. They gain each other's attack until next turn. And this is because Vol'jin's been a problem, right? You can move attack stats all over the place and basically scale a ridiculous amount of attack and never care about the minions you're selling because you can move the attack off them before you sell them. And I feel like this is really going to make it so some of these heroes aren't as broken. In the case of Vol'jin, this is really good. And now it says that Vol'jin can be in Naga lobbies because he's not as busted as he once was. Any Stormcoil has no text change, but it now counts minions destroyed in the recruit phase. So if you're killing stuff while you're doing the shop, now you're actually going to count those towards the 9 minions you need to kill to generate random mechs. Maiev Shadow Song now going to change. It costs 1 gold, which it did before, and it's choose a card in the tavern to lock in your hand, then 2 turns to unlock it. So no more stat buff, I'm assuming, with this. And instead of it being frozen in the shop, kind of suspended away, now it's not going to take up any room there. It is going to take up room in your hand, but in 2 turns you'll get it. So for 1 gold, you get a minion. 2 turns later, that's not a bad value. And I like the stats, but this means Maiev is going to be able to get things a little faster online. I like this. Lord Barav has returned to the pool. Please don't break him again, guys. I don't know how many times Barav has been busted and taken out. He was gone for almost the entire anomaly meta. Please leave him alone. Poor Barav isn't even that good. It's just fun to play. In addition, we've also got a bunch of heroes whose their powers now take into account spells. So Edwin Van Cleef, Heist Baron Togwag, Lich Bazil, Silas Darkmoon, Syndragosa have had their hero powers updated to also work with spells. So you're still going to get maximum value out of those heroes, even with the new stuff coming into it. And oh my god, do we have some minions leaving the tavern pool? This is going to take a minute. Are you ready? Here we go. Tavern Tipper, Selfless Hero, Reef Explorer, Leroy the Reckless, Mithrax the Unraveler, Tea-Master Theotar, Zap Slywick, Stormbringer, Nomi Kitchen Nightmare, Seaborn Summoner, I'm gonna miss that one, Carbonic Copy, Orgazoa the Tender, Tide Mistress Athissa, Rothhide Knoll, Scarlet Skull, Soul Splitter, Relentless Sentry. Sorry, I'm reading from a massive list so you can see all the images just so you don't go, wait, I don't know the name. What is it? Because so many people don't know the names of these cards, they just know what they look like. I want to make sure I splash the image too. Sore Loser, Sister Death Whisper, Captain Flacta. Oh, Captain just got fixed and he's gone again. Bonker, Agam Thorncurse, Dozy Whelp, Bronze Warded, Time Saver, Disco Shuffler, Low Flyer, General Dracosath, Kaboombot. Always miss Kaboombot. Just fun. I like the randomness of him. Upbeat Impressionist, Leeching Fellhound, Iron Groundskeeper, and finally, Uther the Lightbringer have all left the pool. But now we have a lot of returning minions, minions coming back, minions who used to be here but are finally back. We have the Critter Wrangler, the Nether Drake, the Razor Gore the Untamed, Master of Realities, and Snail Cavalry have all returned. Now, I don't have their adjusted stats here right now. I'm just throwing up the old images. Some of them I know are a little different. Now we've had some minions that have been updated because well, we've lost a bunch. We've got some new ones. Why not change some too so I can lose my mind? Here we go. Dagger Spine Thrasher is now tier 4 and a 4/5 from the previous setup. Critter Wrangler is now a tier 5, 5/7. This card was in the pool. It's been gone, but it's changed a little bit. Now it gives, whenever you cast a spell on a minion, give it +1/+2. Before I think it was specifically Spellcraft. Slither Spear Lord of Gains has been changed to a tier 6, doing the same thing. So they're going to be at the end of your turn, give your other Naga +1/+1 for each different spell you've cast this turn. But with so many more spells in the game as opposed to before, making it tier 6 makes a little more sense because before there was only a few spells and now there's a lot. The Electric Synthesizer is now a tier 3, 3/4 Battle Cry, give your other dragons +2/+1. Nether Drake is now a tier 3, 1/5 dragon. At the end of your turn, give your dragons +1 attack. And Razorgore is back yet again. This poor guy keeps leaving and coming back, and I'm not sure he's ever going to be good, but let's take a look in this case and see if he is. He's now tier 4, a 2/4 dragon. At the end of your turn, gain +1/+1 for each other friendly dragon. Not a bad thing it sounds like, but it never really adds up to much. Maybe with the Jakari we can make it work. Now we have some updated armor tiers. There are a ton of them. I'm not going to go over all these. I will post the link in the description below if you're curious. If you remember armor tiers, if they matter to you to this degree, please go take a look. New Battlegrounds Track is in. That's right, folks. If you want to get an extra 2 hero slots, you must buy this to get the pay option on it. But otherwise, you can do it for free and just get some light cosmetic stuff. But the pay option, I feel, is a much better value if you're going to be playing for the next 3 to 4 months. It's well worth the 15 bucks it usually is to justify that. If you're going to play a ton of games, why not get the extra option? Why play with one arm tied behind your back as it is? It's going to add a whole bunch of skins, emotes, all that good stuff. One bartender. We're going to do a video on all that tomorrow when it releases. We're going to go over the whole track and check out these things and see if any of these look actually cool and are worth it. We have some general Battlegrounds update first. Turn timers have been temporarily extended by 5 seconds each turns while players get used to the new cards and all the crazy new spells going on, which makes sense. And bots have been added to the Battleground ladder. 1 or more bots will be added to certain games to provide newer and lower MMR players with a smoother experience. That is a slippery slope, and they've admitted it in the patch that there will be bots. I don't know how I feel about this, guys. I don't know what you're going for on this, but okay, we'll see. Thank you. We also have an in-game Winter Veil event that will be going on. You'll be able to get some packs for standard. You'll get some crazy skins. You'll get 1 skin for Battlegrounds. The rest we don't care about too much here, but there's stuff that's going to be there in case you're excited about these cosmetics. They've now changed the shop a little bit. There's supposed to be tabs. It's supposed to be a better experience. I'm sure this means everything is going to be perfect and wonderful in there, but let's not be too sarcastic here. It's been a long time since they touched it, so this is a good change, assuming it actually feels good. I haven't played it myself or seen how it works, but in theory, this is a better way to search through it and find what you want. So it is a good change if you're looking to actually buy something in the shop. We got some bug fixes fixed for the Battlegrounds. Let's take a look at those. Fixed a bug where Lord Barov's hero power causes crashes. That's why he's back. He was causing crashes left and right and pretty much everywhere, but now it's been fixed this time and he's back. Let's wait and see before we get excited, but it's nice to hear he might be back. They fixed a bug where Upbeat Duo couldn't copy Golden Monkey. I did run into this bug myself. It was very annoying. It worked one day, it didn't work the next. Now, once again, you can copy the monkey. And here's the last one. Let me blow your mind with this one. Fixed a bug where Piloted Whirlotron didn't copy Reoccurring Nightmare's Death Rattle. By the time this launches, Reoccurring Nightmare isn't going to be in the pool, so why? I mean, okay, you could say that Thorum could take Reoccurring Nightmare and somehow get the pot. This seems like a really niche fix. Out of all the things that are broken that you were finally getting to, this is it. At the end of the meta's essentially done. It's only for 1 hero and one really niche case. I mean, I'm not going to complain. A fix is a fix. The timing just seems really bizarre. But that's it, folks. That's all the changes. There's a lot. Spells, new heroes, new minions, old minions gone, old minions returning, some fixes, cosmetics, all the stuff we expect with the new season, but a lot of it. If you've stuck with me this long, thank you very much. I hope you've enjoyed the video. There's just a lot here. Thank you for watching all. I really appreciate all the support to the channel. Welcome all the new subscribers. If you haven't yet, please consider hitting support because I love making this stuff. The more people that are watching it, the easier it is to stay motivated and to keep making new things. I just want to say thank you. I really do appreciate it. And hey, if you had a good time, that's why I'm here. I'm doing this at your whim. You don't like this, you shouldn't be watching, right? You like this, so hit subscribe. That way I keep doing it and we can have a damn good time with it. All right, all. That's it. I'm going to be out. I want to hear your comments, though. I want to know what you think about some of these changes. Do you feel like spells are cool? Are you mad about some of the minions leaving? Do you like the new heroes? Where are you in the mind space right now in this crazy new world we're about to be in starting tomorrow? Thanks for watching, all. I'll catch you in the Battlegrounds. Until then, have a good time. Thanks for watching. Later.